we're here. Hope everyone had a good 4th of July. I know I spent mine at Yankee Stadium. It was lovely. But we have a unique race to talk about. We had the Chicago Street Course in its debut. First ever street race in NASCAR. Not first ever public area race. They've raced on beaches and whatnot before, but this is the first actual race in the streets. And they went to Chicago, and in my opinion, I really thought it was awesome. It was a really, really great event. Unfortunately, for considering what happened with the weather and whatnot, I think NASCAR did what they could. Made the unprecedented decision actually to call the Xfinity race short of halfway official, which I thought was interesting. But I thought the product on the track was actually really impressive. I thought it exceeded my expectations a lot. I know a lot of people worried that it was going to be a bit of a shit show, but I really thought that it was kind of just going to be boring and you weren't going to see much passing. But I'll say you saw a decent amount of passing. Saw different conditions. I think that the wet weather conditions, this was its best showing. Didn't really feel out of place, which it had. Like that Coda race, it seemed a little bit far-fetched that they should be running in that condition. The Charlotte Roval one was a little weird because it was the first time, and then we had, the short track ones where it was kind of like, all right, they had to dry it out, and it was like a small amount of water on the track just to use the wet tire and then change back after 10 laps like they did, I think, in the trucks at Martinsville. But what is everybody else's thoughts on this race, the Chicago Street Course? We'll go to Tegan first.
I mean, it was exceeded expectations. I would not call it top 5 race for me. Entertainment value, period. Maybe this year, yeah, but I'm talking about overall. I like the idea now, but I do think we need to work on something. I would love to see that track on dry. Same thing with Coda. Coda ended up being a good track for a road course after we got out of the shit show that was
the first year.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't even see where the cars were at, and NASCAR ran it like morons.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't do it with this one because the opportunity was there. It would have been a shit show if NASCAR had made that same mistake again. But I mean, I liked it. I thought it was gonna be a shit show. I think some of the part of the track is still a little too narrow for stock cars, and we kind of seen that when it kind of got clogged up with a move by one of the three boneheads in the race for that day. I mean, I liked it. Now, would I want to see it more than once a year? No. Now that Harvick's retiring, I could care less. But no, I wouldn't want to see no more than one street race. I do think if we don't go back to Chicago next year, NASCAR is going to do it somewhere else. I do think they need to redo the contract better than what they did with Chicago, because that's the whole reason why the Xfinity race was done the way it was because they had no control over letting the fans back in and shit. So maybe they can renegotiate. I think a lot of the Chicago shit kind of surprised even people on the Chicago side. Yeah, on that side of the industry. Like, I mean, fourth bonehead Brett Griffin gave it down the road before we even got to Sunday, and now he's on the fucking train like
I love Chicago,
acting like he had a ticket the whole fucking time when he didn't. He's the biggest fucking. I mean, he basically called the liberals out over this whole deal. Called Chicago a live city. Called the liberal idiots that's running it. So I'm gonna call him a damn Trump fanatic conservative cunt, bitch. Cry bag, wine bag, whatever you can think of, that's what he is. But yeah, that's one thing he kind of threw in Chicago's face was the mayor. He says the mayor has already said that we don't want to come back. We don't want this come back in the next 2 years. I have not heard that. I've not read it.
I've heard indecisiveness.
Yeah,
but I haven't heard line in the sand, not
I
happening again.
I have a family member who lives in Chicago. I've basically heard there's like indecisiveness with the new mayor. He's not necessarily sure if he wants it back, but he
I
hasn't
don't
made
see
a
the problem. You're
he
not
hasn't made
footing the
a
bill.
he's
NASCAR's footing the bill. Apparently, Brett Griffin said that NASCAR spent north of $40 million a loss,
No.
which NASCAR has come out and said that they're taking a loss on this for long-term, goal. But I do think if you keep it at the same place for too long, it's going to be like the dirt at Bristol.
it's gonna be obsolete.
It's going to run its course. People are going to
Yeah.
get tired of it. You got to change it up. You can't say street course at the same place. You got to go somewhere else. I think 3-year deal was a little too long, to be honest. I kind of see it happening again next year for Chicago. I just don't think we need to do 3-year deals.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I feel like what I would be cool with them doing like max maybe 2 a season. Yeah, just because you're getting maybe let Fox have one, because I assume the executives at Fox might say, "Hey,
they got one. Why can't we?
We want one of those."
Well, the upside of that is they do get the Daytona 500, which is the only race that had more viewerships than this race. So, and you can't compare. You can't say, well, NBC gets the championship race, because let's face it, it's Phoenix. It's not that good of a fucking show, and they don't get the viewership for it, even though it is a championship race.
Right.
So this is kind of if it stays this way with the viewership on TV, it's their comparable with Fox, I think.
And we could see, I think a cool thing in the next contract would be, I would hope that they could find a way to get back to alternating years for the Daytona 500. Have 1 year on Fox, 1 year on NBC, because I really hate to say it, but I think Fox is doing a disservice to the Daytona 500 at this point.
They're starting to kind of lose.
We'll see what happens next year.
I
really don't see Harvick doing. Harvick's a jokester, but I don't think he's going to be Clint Boyer level and Fox level next year.
They just need energy. That booth has no energy whatsoever.
And
you got NBC. These guys are making you feel like I didn't like NBC for a while, but I will say that in recent years, they have
stopped talking about it.
They really have. They make it feel like big events. Fox doesn't do that.
Well, I mean, they're all excited when shit happens. You got Dale Jr., who goes up 10 octaves, and then you got Rick Allen, who's already that way anyway, hooting and hollering. Everything that comes out of his mouth, you think. I've always said that the radio guys done a way better job of calling the race, because they're really good at describing it and making it sound exciting, because you're actually not able to see it. I said that 20 years ago. That's kind of how NBC does it a little bit. So
NBC, especially at the road courses, are
the radio
very very good at doing that, and I like that about them at the road courses. Now, I didn't get my 2 cents on Chicago. There's some great interviews, specifically one Logano calling the winner a hamburger.
That's right, he did that
because he's a fucking dork.
He is,
and he said he was fast. But to be fair, that Project 91 car, that car was fast, and and I think no matter what, if it was a shortened race or not, I think
he was going to find a way to win.
I don't know.
He's a top 5. He's probably a top 5 car.
Because 3 top hitters got put out after they shortened the lap.
Not saying he would win the race, but I'm saying.
But he was also equally affected by that as they were. He just was able.
But I mean, they took themselves out though, trying to get back to the field.
Yeah.
He waited till they strung out.
And the pass he made on Justin Haley.
That battle was so tasty between SVG and Justin Haley. Oh my God!
Haley some props on that one, because I thought he was going to get him back.
That move was ballsy by Haley right there, and it was super clean too, because Haley could have very easily said, "This guy's not racing again. I'm gonna just."
I wouldn't have blamed him. It would have been a win.
Yeah,
that would have got him in the playoffs, which he has to have. He's not getting in the points.
Well,
no, he's had a penalty. Remember?
He had the penalty.
It got overturned.
I thought it got reduced. So if you look at the points, hang on, I'll probably get it quicker through the app.
On my way.
He is 258 out of the, I guess, the lead.
He is. So
In
that
the
means
playoff.
he's 45 out right now. So it's
I
not.
mean, it's doable, but
Especially considering we have Atlanta and Daytona and road courses, which will trend Justin Haley direction more than other tracks.
and just a shout out to prove you wrong. Chase Elliott's only 55 points behind.
He's got a chance.
I think he can get it done on points. I told you that.
I'm not gonna get excited because there's some this week is dangerous.
Wow, what race is it this week? Daytona?
Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta.
Atlanta's
Which
dangerous.
is worse than Daytona.
Honestly, yeah. Daytona is dangerous. So those are two big wild card tracks there. If I'm, for Chase Elliott, in my opinion, I think the real test to see, because he showed speed that you expect from him at Nashville, which I feel like was probably the first time since he came back that it was like, all right, this is the Chase Elliott that you are used to.
And let's be honest, he only had the finish he had this last weekend was because of some good pit strategy.
Great call.
A lot of the top 9 or 10 cars called a good strategy.
Yeah.
On that pit call before the last caution.
I think Chase was probably top 10 on speed. He started in the back because of his qualifying wreck, and then worked his way up towards the top 20 early on, and then once he went on to slick tires, wrecked again, and kind of fell into the strategy he ended up being in, which got him a P3. But I think on fastest lap he was like top 10, so he was definitely improving. With Chase, noticing with him is it takes a little bit for him to get comfortable with like a new, like at Coda in the next gen car, like practice, he did not look good at like 2022 Coda with the next gen car. But then he worked slowly towards it, and then he finished like top 5, and then contended in multiple road courses during the rest of that season. But I really think that the real test to see where the 19 is at will be at New Hampshire. Because Atlanta, you can't really judge that. Chicago is also kind of a who knows what was going to happen there.
What are you going to see?
What we see from him at New Hampshire will show if that team is really on or not. Because Chase Elliott, not historically great at New Hampshire, but was performing really well during last year, the summer stretch, and ended up with the second place finish at New Hampshire last year. So I think that if we see Chase Elliott running in the top 5 there at a track that is not one of his best, that's how I think you can judge
the 9 team.
If they're really, if they have winning speed, or I even think without winning speed, they still can make it, because the flock of people in front of them is not like exceptional, to be honest.
Who is the?
You have Cindric and Haley and Allmendinger and Bowman, who respectfully has been lifeless since his return. Daniel Suarez, who I really don't think has a level of consistency that I would really look for. Michael McDowell's in there, and Ty Gibbs is the cut line. He's at 16th. So, yeah.
I haven't seen McDowell getting in, though.
We're going to the road course.
McDowell's going to get in?
I think McDowell's going to get in. I think he might have a chance. There's
I don't think so.
There's 2 wild cards in there, and Daytona, he's won at Daytona before, and
yeah, he got lucky there.
Doesn't matter. He still won there. He put himself in a position.
But he won in the front to win it. He literally had it handed to him. He was literally running like 4th or 5th.
3rd. Yeah, but I don't think Michael McDowell is going to win. And I just think that if you're telling me who's going to score more points, Alex Bowman or Michael McDowell, even though Alex Bowman hasn't been great, I'll still say him. Suarez or McDowell, who won in the fight? I'd say Suarez.
Suarez just threw him to the ground.
Chase Elliott or Michael McDowell? I'm of course going to say Chase Elliott. So we'll see.
Chase on that one.
We'll see. we'll talk more about the Cutland later on. Excuse me. Just a big shout out to Shane Van Gisbergen, though. I mean, what a performance by him. Put on a clinic. Fastest lap was 7/10 better than the rest of the field. So he was very, very quick. Would you guys like to see him in NASCAR full time?
I don't think he would do good full time. Let's not get too hard on for him just yet.
No, I'm just saying
it's road course at best, and even at road courses, I still think he meets his match because these Cup drivers are better at road courses. They literally threw a whole different new track in, gave him 30 minutes of practice against somebody who's used to running this shit in basically the same damn car. It's the damn carbon car he always ran.
That's why I think he'll fare that bad if he moves to the Cup Series, because you look at a guy like Marcus Ambrose.
But does his ovals?
Listen to what your guy said, okay? Kevin Hart, what did he say
about
Marcus Ambrose?
Not good things at the end. I'm sure he wrecked him once.
No, he tweeted out remember when last year, or whenever they got like a penalty of some kind, he started tweeting a lot.
Yeah.
Last year, he answered a question and said, if Marcus Ambrose had good Cup equipment, he would be still in the Cup Series and a double-digit Cup winner, which I actually would tend to agree with.
I just don't think it would have happened on ovals. Juan Pablo was better than him, in my opinion. It didn't happen for him.
I disagree.
I mean, Juan Pablo did go into a jet dryer.
That don't mean shit, but he was good on ovals. But he wasn't good enough to win.
I
don't think Marcus Ambrose is better than Juan Pablo. And if you say he is, then you are having a wet dream.
In a NASCAR, yeah, I'm gonna say that.
No, you're so full of shit.
No, I'm not.
You are so full
totally
of shit.
For real with you that Marcus Ambrose, I think in NASCAR.
Well, fuck, we can say anybody you put him in good equipment are going to fucking be good. Hell, that's what they've been saying about Corey LaJoie. And when it happens, he's shit the bed.
Well, Corey LaJoie showed not as much promise as Marcus Ambrose showed. Corey LaJoie
There's a reason why
had winning performance at a non-restrictor plate track. I don't care about Corey LaJoie. Corey LaJoie doesn't mean anything right now.
Well, Marcus Ambrose only showed winning speed on fucking road courses. There's no difference.
Oh, come on.
Back then, we only had two.
There's a reason why Juan Pablo was better on the ovals than Marcus Ambrose.
Why? We don't know. Oh, my God.
IndyCar.
All I'm saying is you're not going to take a guy that runs in Australia on fucking street courses and lefties and righties and shit like that and going to put him in a stock car and he's going to just go and light the world on fire because he wins a fucking NASCAR race. Y'all are sucking that cock and you are choking on it.
You are putting words in my mouth. I never said, oh my God, if Shane Van Gisbergen can come to the Cup Series, he's going to win a championship.
I don't think he'd be terrible.
If you put him in a track house car,
I don't think he would be good at all.
The guy can drive anything. He's driven every sort of car that's possible. He's driven GT cars, LMPs. He drives the Australian V8 supercar.
I don't care.
He gets into a NASCAR. I know it's a street circuit, and I don't think he would fare as well at a regular road course with the lack of experience in that car. But if you give a driver that talent that much time, and you give him, let's say, track house equipment, that guy is going to become a winner. Does he become a champion? I don't know. That could be a stretch. But I think that you are discrediting his talent a lot.
I think you are sucking that winner cock because it's something new. Ooh, somebody different one. Let's all suck his cock, guys. He can win.
I love being in the middle of this.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
As
soon as he won, everybody's like, put him in a car. Put him in a car. He's a winner. He can win in NASCAR.
This is your narrative. Oh, my God.
Technically, they put him in a NASCAR and he won a race.
And he won.
It was a street course where they gave everybody else who has never been on one only 30 minutes of practice. He didn't need to fucking practice. He already knew what to fucking do, and it showed up at the end of the race. He fucking sandbagged.
Did he really need? I mean, he kind of did need practice. This was a newer car for him. I mean, Jesus, he was breaking.
Are you not hearing what we said earlier and what they have all been saying all weekend? These are carbon copies of cars he's already driven. NASCAR admitted that they went to that sport, that series, and got the freaking specs.
I think I agree. I do agree with Mike though. If you put him in, like,
he is not winning on an oval.
Not
I'm
saying
sorry,
he's
he's
winning.
not
Not
doing
saying he's gonna win on a damn oval, but I'm just gonna say you put him in trackhouse equipment. I think he'd be halfway decent of a driver.
Well, halfway decent don't get you wins.
If you give
Halfway
a guy
decent
Pablo
gets,
is halfway
halfway decent gets you another ticket back to Australia, like it did Marcus Ambrose.
Marcus
halfway
Ambrose
decent
didn't
gets
deserve to go back to Australia.
He really didn't. Marcus Ambrose.
That guy was good. He just never had anything.
I mean, he had to run in fucking Richard Petty Motorsports.
He ran in JTG, Wood Brothers, and Richard Petty, which are dog shit, dog shit, dog shit.
And Richard Petty was
won a race. Wood Brothers won a couple races.
No.
2009. They were
we're not going to twist those. We're not going to twist those words. Richard Petty Motorsports in like the early 2010s was god awful.
Even into the late 20s, even now.
They are still terrible.
Well, and now it's not Petty anymore, so you can't blame Petty. Petty's just there as a
Petty ran it when Ambrose was there.
But
did he not?
Say that now. I don't think he did. Petty was a very minority owner till he was pushed out this year. He's shit now, but a damn figurehead mascot.
Whenever it went from Petty, and whenever the whole Evernham merger happened, is what kind of when he started to
Gillette
assume less ownership. I really think that you're just totally off. I didn't even ask the question.
I think there's a middle ground. I think SVG would be halfway decent and decent equipment. He'll win a couple races. He won't be. Mike's not saying he's going to be a championship.
What's
driver.
the point of running a whole cup season going for championship if you're only going to be good on the road courses and one street course?
We don't know if he's going to be good or not.
We don't know or not. We really
the guy
don't know.
Drives on the other side of the car. He gets into this car and he's magically still fucking cracked at driving. I mean, it's unbelievable. The guy driving over here, shifting with this hand. Now he's like this, and he has feet. Look at his feet. Have you seen his feet?
Feet. We got a feet.
We
got a NASCAR confirmed.
Have you seen his feet?
He ain't the first driver who's had a foot cam.
But his is impressive. He does the clutch and he uses one foot. I'll tell you what, just give it a chance, okay?
I think he deserves.
It's not happening. Whether he's going to be good or not, it's not happening. I don't think it's going to happen. And if it does, then I don't think he's going to be good except for the road courses and the street course.
JB put a good point.
Yeah, bitch.
Thank you, JB, for taking Mike and I's side here.
Is he though? He's saying he's halfway decent at ovals and halfway decent at road courses.
Yeah.
Are y'all saying that this dude's the same? Then that means he ain't going to win shit because AJ Allmendinger ain't done shit this year.
That's not true. AJ Allmendinger's almost in the playoffs.
He is.
Because the motherfuckers got stage points, and you got Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, and God, who else has missed races this year because of bullshit?
Well, it was also the fault of Hendrick almost giving up a whole shit ton of points because they had fucking something wrong with their cars.
Yes, something wrong.
AJ's less than 30 points out of the playoffs right now, just on points, which I think is a pretty good season for Kaulig and for him. But I think that he would adapt very well. Am I saying that he's going to be a championship driver?
No, you're not.
Maybe he could. Maybe he could be.
Okay.
If
you take all the road courses out and you go back down to 2 road courses, is there even a point for him running the whole season in Cup? Because do you think he's going to win on ovals?
Well,
I don't know. Maybe give him the chance. So you don't think Marcus Ambrose should have came to NASCAR?
No, I mean, he did good in road courses. He won, 2 and shit the bed in the rest?
Oh my!
Or did he win 3?
He won 2. Could have won a Sonoma race, but
he shit the bed.
He went into neutral under caution, couldn't get it back into gear, and there's.
And Juan Pablo, I know Juan Pablo won Infineon for sure. Didn't Juan Pablo win?
I'm not a hater. Trust me, I'm glad he won. That's one less person that got a playoff spot. I didn't root against him. I wasn't rooting for him. But I just don't think everybody. I mean, hell, let's put fucking God knows who else in this car, and he would have won and be the god-awful driver in another series, and y'all think, well, I think he can make it in NASCAR. Y'all just fucking pissed because it's somebody else y'all think can beat Kyle Larson. No.
What? Why am I a part of the Kyle Larson discussion here?
What does Kyle Larson have to do with this?
It's not happening.
What isn't happening?
He's not coming to NASCAR.
Maybe he will.
Is he married? Does he have kids? Is he going to uproot them? No.
I don't know. Why do you think I know all this about him?
Because I'm figuring you sucking that cock. You would know his fucking birthday, where he lives, the car he drives, the fucking how big.
What have I said to signify? What have I said to signify that?
When this conversation started, you said, "I think he can make it. I think he can do good in NASCAR full time."
Yes, I think so.
No, I don't think he does.
Okay, we'll see.
I mean, if you can make a whole damn season out of road courses, then fucking go for it. Hell, maybe NASCAR stick 3 or 4 in each round in the playoffs. Here, sprinkle one here, so we can have an Australian driver win the championship. Whoopee!
I don't think that's gonna happen. Bradley chimed in.
Incite violence.
Missing 3 races and getting a 60-point penalty hurt him. Chase's lazy guy hurt him. Yeah, he couldn't really see down the mountain and snapped his leg.
I thought you meant they hurt Bowman. I'm like, what did Chase do to Bowman?
Yeah, I don't know. Have you ever seen those two guys like interact?
No, not really.
That's because Chase Elliott has something against Pride Day or Pride Month.
Whoa, jeez.
He did vote for Trump. Let's be honest.
Well, he did actually. I think.
Did he actually really? Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he endorsed him.
He did. I was.
Him and his daddy both.
It wasn't really.
And so did NASCAR as a sport.
I wasn't really excited about that.
Chase loses his whole fan base.
That was the real downfall of Brian France. The guy was fucking snorting coke out the wazoo, and then he goes out there and endorses somebody for president. Has any president of a sporting organization endorsed a presidential candidate before?
Oh, that's when Brian. I remember that now. I forgot about Brian.
When he got caught for being high, he literally said, "I know the fucking president."
But yeah, oh, he's really gonna help you out.
He's probably like Brian who?
Yeah, exactly. Sir Brian France said he knows you.
Who?
I never heard of him before. He gave a beautiful speech. He said I was great. But yeah. But if it was, one of the other commissioners of a sport endorsing a Democrat for president, then it'd boy.
Be woke. Boycott.
Woke.
They're too woke.
Yeah.
Boycott. But
shut
if
up and
Trump,
dribble.
or even DeSantos, or what's his nickname, Mike? Do it.
De sanctimonious.
Yes.
Ron De Sanctimonious.
It's that's all American right there. I mean, it's just something. The biggest crybags in this country are calling people crybags.
Tegan is so fired up tonight. I agree. And Bradley
get me on NASCAR and politics. It's a good combo.
It is. Let's get away from.
It's a very good.
Especially consider we as a sport endorsed a president who just a couple years later told us to fuck off because we had Bubba Wallace.
Yeah.
So.
Tyler Reddick had a great tweet that day, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. We don't need you or something like that.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I thought it was awesome. I love that. Shout out Tyler Reddick. Anything else we want to talk about from Chicago? Tegan, I'd like your thoughts on the decision about the Xfinity race.
I think that it was no choice. I mean,
I hate it. With that.
If they had waited, they wouldn't have definitely got 75 laps in for the Cup race, and that's not counting. That's counting if the damn thing Xfinity race went green, and it ain't going green.
No.
I mean, so I know people bitched about why didn't NASCAR do this the day before, because all these teams had to pay $1,500 in hotel bills to stay one more night. And I'm sorry, I know the Xfinity drivers and teams are on smaller budgets, but if you're in a team and you can't afford a $1,500 in hotel stay or something like that, I feel bad for you, but find it. That's what credit cards are for, and I'm pretty sure NASCAR is going to give it back because that's like not even changing a bucket for them. That's shit they lose in the couch, in my opinion. So I think NASCAR tried to get the race in because of the weekend. I mean, the most they could have done is going out there and ran 2 more laps, but they couldn't. They had a lightning hold. Yeah. Chicago's a 90-minute hold before they even let people back in. NASCAR could have started the race back up, but they'd had no fans in there watching it. They'd still been rolling in. They'd missed probably the whole race by the time they got to their fucking seats. So NASCAR was in a very hard spot. I just hope it doesn't set a precedent for
I don't think
future events. I'm hoping this is a one thing only top deal.
Because they really didn't have another choice because you're not going to push it to Monday.
I mean, from what I've read, they could have done Monday, but Monday would have been the last day, and it was a nice day.
That would have pissed the city off too, I think.
I think so, and I think at that time NASCAR is probably trying to make sure they come back next year, maybe, because they're supposed to start taking that track apart at midnight.
Nobody's going to go to that
Xfinity race. I don't know. It was pretty
on a Monday though.
Well, I mean, according to the NASCAR, 70% of the fans are new. Ain't never been to a race, so that tells me that they were in that area.
Right.
Why not? It's also the 4th. You probably already got that day off, to be quite honest. You just want to spend it down the racetrack. I had that day off along with the 4th because it fell at the beginning of the week. Yeah. So, NASCAR needs to, if they get out of the Chicago deal, whether they don't, maybe they negotiate to have their own say over the weather shit, so we don't have a repeat of this next year. Yeah. I mean, Chicago was in a drought, like a severe drought. When NASCAR left, they're not in a drought no more. That tends to happen when NASCAR visits. If you're in a drought and you need some serious rain, just offer NASCAR a straight course. Yeah, just say, hey, we got some streets here that you can race on. Wet or dry. Most likely it'll be wet, but come on in. We'll take you.
Don't forget about Noah and turn 6.
He was one of my 4, what I call them?
Boneheads.
Him.
Okay. Can this be a new segment? Hold on. Stop. Hold on, stop.
Matt's got 2 kids. I've got boneheads.
Okay, Tegan. It is time for a new segment. Are you ready?
Tegan's bonehead moves.
No, not bonehead moves, just boneheads. Where's my graphic? Oh, there it is. Okay. You got the Baconator. Motherfucker wrecked 6 fucking times in one corner. And everybody else don't realize he wrecked after the race was over trying to get back to pit road. Anthony Lively caught it.
Yeah, actually, he did?
I thought you sent the video. I thought.
No.
Okay, I'll send it to you. I know where it's at. Okay. Mark Truex, fucking bonehead, took out Harvick. And then took himself out because he's a fucking bonehead. Corey Joy, bonehead. He don't know where the fucking brakes are. Took out Harvick, caused a fucking massive blockage. Brett Griffin, the biggest bonehead of the whole damn weekend. He's a fucking dumbass. He's a conservative. I mean, I want to call him something else, but that word is banned in this league, so I can't. Because they call us that with the lib in front of it. Now I want to do it, but I'm not going to do it. So that's my 4 bonehead. Probably going to be the most all year, to be honest, in one weekend. Maybe a challenge accepted for all the rest of the year for the rest of the drivers.
That segment is going to stick. I don't know how to get
let me send it to you.
Tegan's boneheads.
No, Bradley sent it to us. It was a TikTok.
All right. I didn't look at it.
Bradley, don't. It's okay, Bradley. I'll look at your shit.
I haven't opened it. I don't know.
It's in our chat, me and you and him.
Oh, it was today?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see it.
It's the last thing.
But yeah, it's a new segment debuted. We just decided it about 5 minutes ago. Tegan's Boneheads, which we'll do every week, so we can get Tegan all fired up.
I'll find somebody.
Yeah, Noah, rough week for Noah. But hey,
I don't think that motherfucker was doing it on purpose.
Exactly. McDonald's paid for
Because
half the track.
I
but
think he's
Wendy's
like,
got
I'm not
so
good
much
here.
coverage.
He's got to
This is the only
compete.
way I'm going to get some TV time is I spin out in this fucking barrier and not move.
So not
Yeah.
because I know there was like McDonald's logos on a certain turn, right?
It's like
The
on the
bunch.
straightaway.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 And not only that, he's got a driver named Bubba Wallace who's sponsored by McDonald's.
Let me tell you something. They go back there next year. McDonald's is sponsoring Turn 6.
They have to. Yeah.
And now,
They have to.
so I mean, Noah Gregson's got to find a way to get Wendy's to try to beat their competitor McDonald's by getting on TV somehow.
I mean, the dude wore head to tails a Baconator outfit. Which, which Rick Allen should have left that alone because that makes sense anyway. That's what they used to call it back in the day. He's dressing head to tails. He changed it to toe. Apparently, he's got a foot fetish too. I don't know.
And he went, that's impressive.
If you're
On
not,
the shirt.
if you're
What
not
about his
making
impressive?
it,
The guy just wore clothes.
That he probably had made himself, which is good for Noah. He's a sponsored guy.
He
To be
is.
honest,
Noah's
I
good.
would say that's the motherfucker that probably needs Bush, but he just throw it up. So he just got his stomach issues fixed, I'm pretty sure. So he can't go back damaging that. So
Here's the bacon clip.
Bacon from head to toe. That's pretty impressive.
yeah, he's got the voice when he's actually calmed down. He's like somebody that you can listen to late at night and either go to sleep or if you got a long car ride, they kind of keep you soothed and calm from road rage.
No, I like that.
But then he's got that voice that could give you road rage.
Exactly.
From one end to the other on the spectrum.
More like this.
If you're not baconating, what are you even doing?
That one is really good.
I mean, that dude pushed Sonic and Wendy's all in one broadcast. And I'm pretty sure McDonald's as well.
They must have.
he pushed
We missed it.
all fast food places.
You know what they really pushed was that Xfinity 10G turn.
Well,
They never called it turn 10. They said, and then they go through the Xfinity 10G turn.
You know, Xfinity
Turn
is put that in there. You got to say it.
Say it, Burton. And then he tried to say Shane Van Gisbergen's name, and
Stroked out.
I was actually kind of concerned.
Well,
I thought his mic might have cut out like Dale Jr. had for the first 20 laps of the race.
No, I think he just like said the Shane.
He
Van
fucked it up and
Gisbergen,
just cut his own damn shit out. Like, I'm done.
And just was like,
Like Dick
that's
Bergeron
what- yeah.
threw his mic.
Here it is.
Maybe his teeth
Just-
fell out. Maybe he's got
Ooh.
false teeth and they started flipping.
That's a theory.
Have you ever been around people that with false teeth? They get to talking real fast and they're mad. And that they have to catch it. I've been there many times
You
on that
felt it?
receiving end, getting
they've-
teeth spit at me. So I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two.
Yeah. This has been a wild episode. Anything else from the Chicago Street Course we want to talk about? I mean, it was a wild.
Can you just play the clip of Logano calling SVG a hamburger?
Absolutely.
If they go back next year, I do think Nick.
Burger, I don't know. Hamburger, he's fast.
I think they need to bring lights, portable lights. If NASCAR is sinking that much money into it, what's an extra couple $1 million to bring in portable lights? I mean, they almost had it anyway with straight lights.
And I think it would look way cooler like that anyway.
Running under the lights, yeah.
My
like a
favorite
little bit of
shot,
night race.
I forget what stretch is coming down, but when you could see like the cars and the headlights behind,
At the roadblocks and shit, yes.
I thought that looked so cool. You see the train going over it too. I thought that was awesome.
And this weekend was every photographer's dream
It was.
Yeah.
in NASCAR.
The photos of SVG's burnout are really cool with the Chicago skyline in the background.
If you were a professional photographer or you wanted to try to get in photography, that was probably the best thing to get. If you're in Chicago, at least at that point.
Yeah, I mean it was a very picturesque scene.
That's
Something
where
about
you
like a
can
city, like
that's where you
seeing
can fill your resume.
seeing NASCAR drive and just seeing like a city skyline right there.
Well, I mean, I
was
showed my
so-
mom when they were driving through the park and shit of all the trees and
Yeah.
shit like that. And I said, that's what they're driving through. Because my mom's like, why are they on a street course? or why are they racing in the streets? I'm like, NASCAR's trying something. I mean, it's working. I mean, they 70% of their tickets or people that ain't never been to a race. So
my mother, I mean, she used to watch NASCAR with me when I was a kid, just because I always watched it, and she needed to watch me because I was, been watching NASCAR since I was 4. And so since I've kind of been able to go off on my own and watch it, I go with my grandparents to watch it. She really hasn't, but I was here for the race last, the Chicago race. She watched the Nashville race with me too, actually, just so it was in the evening. But this is somebody that I'd say used to be a NASCAR fan, still kind of is, but just doesn't watch. She was like, that was awesome. Like, she loved it. So it's really accessible to anybody, it seems like. And the ratings showed that for sure. NBC's highest rating since 2017, the best rating this year. Is it the best rating of any race that is like a non-Daytona 500 race since 2017?
I wouldn't even put Daytona 500s up there. And since that time period, I think we just had better races. I mean, Chicagoland with Kyle comes to mind.
Yeah, but not ratings. I'm talking about like rating. I was saying.
I mean, the rating, like, what are you talking about rating? Rating based off of the viewership?
Yeah,
that
viewership
goes hand in
ratings is
hand.
what I was referring to. I was pretty sure that it was the best since 2017 for NBC. And I'd assume it's probably the best non-Daytona 500 event since 2017.
Well, they said that for this year. It's the second best race this year behind the Daytona 500 when it comes to the viewership and ratings.
Right.
So,
and I think it's NBC's best since 2017, which is pretty impressive.
Which is probably Homestead.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Junior's last race, so makes sense. Yeah, so about to wrap up the Chicago Street Course talk. Anything you two want to discuss before we move on? I assume I'm probably missing something, but a lot happened. So anything else about that?
I don't think there was no news in NASCAR either, was there?
It was the biggest race for NBC since Indy in 2017.
Damn, Indy.
Wow.
Which is another reason why we need to go back to the oval, but that's
so that race beat Dale Jr.'s final race.
The audience was the most to watch a NASCAR Cup Series race on NBC since Indianapolis.
It makes sense though that it's Indy.
And it was
I like that.
And it was 5.647 million people, and NBC's 8th most watched race under its current right agreement.
6.5 million people watch 2007 Indy. That's like almost double what we average now.
Yeah.
And that's just what, 6 years difference?
Yeah.
I would like to see a list of those races.
Tweet Bob Pockers. I'm sure he'll make it one. He'll probably give it to you in 5 minutes. He's probably already got it.
Definitely.
Do that, Ryan. Ain't you our little news person?
So just some random news. Cole Custer will be racing 3 races for Rick Ware Racing in the Cup Series. So Cole will be
I'm
back.
assuming they're Stuart Haas-backed cars, and this is probably his little, see if he's ready to come back for next year tryout.
Yeah.
I would assume.
Let's see anything else. Shane Van Gisbergen says he'd be interested in an oval race. That was actually before the race happened. That came out. Really no big news. We move on to Atlanta. That's our favorite time of the episode. I'm not very excited for the race.
I think Wessel needs to be on here next Monday after that race to give us just how much did he sleep during it.
But it's time to pick. Wessel won with SVG.
I thought you took him.
No, I almost did. So
like Wessel needed another fucking win.
So he's up to 4 points now with the extra point for the win. Matt didn't pick because I don't fucking care.
No, he needs somebody though, so he don't get a free driver.
Ryan, pick somebody for him last week.
Have these been updated recently?
So who do I get to pick for?
We're gonna give him Bowman.
That means he gets to pick first.
No, he's not here, so he won't. Who's last here?
Anybody pick Dylan?
No.
Is it me, Jensen Button? I think he finished like 20th.
No, I think it's
Suarez. He had damage, so it has to be Suarez.
Give me-
Suarez. He finished right there with Harvick in like 28th or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Brad Keselowski. That was Brock Keselowski, sure. Next up, I believe, is JB with Ross Chastain, because Chastain did not have a good showing. He came home P22, just one spot behind Jensen Button.
Good.
And JB will be selecting Ryan Blaney.
That's a waste.
Next up is you, Tegan.
Do I have Corey LaJoie available? I don't think I do. I probably took him at Atlanta the first time. Yes, I see him right there somewhere. I see him.
You
I
picked
see
him
his name.
at Talladega.
Talladega. Go to my list.
I'm not sure how updated this is.
It probably ain't.
It's at least updated till like Nashville.
Got Kush Bush still there. Got
Have I not took Elliott yet? I thought I took him
No.
somewhere. I took him at Nashville. Or did I take Bowman?
You took Elliott. That just means it's not. It's updated until before that, I think.
Yeah, I took Elliott. Okay. I hate the waste Logano too. I still ain't took Byron. Son of a bitch. Benhouse wouldn't be a bad one, but Daytona's coming up too.
Yeah.
Who's in the 51 car this week? We got to have a entry list already.
Cole Custer's in the 51.
Fuck it, give me Cole Custer. It's the line. I don't give a shit.
Got it. Cole Custer.
Whoever I pick's probably gonna get wrecked anyway.
All right. Next up is Bradley or Sal. Allmendinger finished 17th, so it'll be Bradley, and he's picking. Let's make sure he hasn't picked this guy yet. He's picking Bubba Wallace. And then Sal, who's picking last for us today, is picking. Wouldn't have done that if I were him, but he's picking. Let's make sure here. He's picking Christopher Bell.
Watch him fucking win.
That's the picks. Ryan, who do you think's gonna win?
Who do I think's gonna win Atlanta?
Yeah.
Give me Brad Keselowski.
Okay, you agree with me. Good. I like that.
I think somebody gets Chastained again this week.
Oh, okay. That could be fun. I'm excited.
And you know who gets Chastain this week? And I hope
It's probably Harvick again.
It's gonna be either Harvick or Kyle Busch, and they're gonna beat the shit out of him.
It ain't gonna be Harvick's not gonna do shit because Harvick's already said, do we really want drivers getting out of race cars after they just wrecked and beating somebody's head in with their fist?
No.
Now, if he gets fucked and that driver don't get wrecked, maybe. I think he don't punch him. I think to get by the rule of the punching rule that NASCAR, the unwritten rule, fucking open hand that bitch.
Ooh. Bitch slap.
It ain't considered woman anymore. It's a bitch slap is just as good as a fist, if not worse. It's kind of even worse in my opinion because you show somebody gets bitch slapped on live television, I'm going to feel a little downgraded.
Here's our cut line update here. We have up 15 points, Bubba Wallace, and then up 6 points is Ty Gibbs. Do we think both? What do we think? Do those two make it?
Who, Bubba and Ty?
Yeah.
Bubba does, Ty doesn't.
I think Ty does, but I also think Bubba does. Ty Gibbs has had good runs that's been interrupted with bad luck here lately. He was running good at the road course. I don't know where he finished, but he was top 10 most of that race. Probably till the pit strategy flipped there at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Bubba's got good tracks coming up. That's the only thing that's going to help Bubba.
Yeah.
He's got Atlanta, Michigan, Daytona.
I could see Bubba actually winning Michigan this year.
I wouldn't be surprised. But you have to think that one of these guys will win, right? Suarez, Allmendinger, Bowman, Elliott.
I'm telling you, Trackhouse has just been wonky this year with 99 and the 1. They're taking turns. They're not as a team like they were last year, dominating. Like last year, the overall team for the whole year was Trackhouse. This year, in my opinion, they're not even top 5 in team. I think Stuart Haas is beating them even with just Harvick, to be honest.
Happy
so
Harvick.
I'll ask you, does Chase Elliott make it?
I think he does in points. I don't know about a win.
Definitely on points.
I don't think he needs to. Now, if he gets a bad race or two and loses points to the cutoff, then maybe he needs to win. But I don't think he has to. Not when you take stage. There's 2 stages in every race from here on out. I don't know how many races we got left. He can
9.
easily outscore all these people just in stage points alone.
Right. Yeah. That's very, very possible. So that is our cut line update. Tegan, you know this better than I do. Give us our CFRL cut line update. I'm pretty sure it's kind of set now, but just tell everybody what's going on with that.
So I'm pretty sure. So KLW is outside looking in. Fox eliminated himself when he didn't show up for Daytona, which he knew that, and was okay with it. So that actually moved up with them both doing that. With KLW missing the last 2 weeks, that moves up Kamal and NSP. Unless we get some winners or they miss races and KLW decides to show up, KLW is probably the only one that can put his way in. Matt, Trainer, and Sal have to win a race. If Kamal starts having, I think even if he shows up and lags out, I still think he's okay. NSP, I kind of feel the same way because NSP internet kind of holds out anyway, so he can just be mid and still be okay. Unless KLW goes out there and just starts fucking lighting it up, maybe, who knows? Maybe he has a Tony Stewart in him.
That'd be crazy. I'd be here for it though. So yeah, it's kind of unfortunate about KLW that he just doesn't show up as much in the summer because he was on for pretty comfortably going to be in the playoffs, and now he is.
I think a start earlier this year actually kind of helped him with that because by this point last year he missed more races. Right. This is only his second or third race missed, and that's been 2 in a row of those 3. Yeah. So a start earlier this year kind of eliminated a lot of people missing races like that, unless your name is David Wessel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn.
So give us your thoughts and expectations for New Hampshire then. That's the second to last race before the playoffs begin.
I think it's a Bradley win. Motherfucker.
Yeah?
Yes. I hope his shit gets corrupted mid-race and he just freezes. They don't lag out. He just fucking freezes and
then the game crashes
or some shit. Yeah, maybe Bradley is the one that's going to crash the fucking heat servers, and Motorsports game is just going to you know what, fuck it, we tried our best. Let's just pack up house and leave, go to a different country, take our $9.99 that we made off these dumb fuckers, and just go to the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Think their owners aren't there now?
Probably.
That's where our servers are.
Yeah, probably. Seems like it. Is there anything else we'd like to talk about before we head out of here? Anything we miss?
Y'all want to see my Daytona sign? It might be my last win.
Sure.
I'm an asshole.
I know.
All right, hang on.
I think we're all assholes.
Can y'all see it?
Yep.
They're above the dresser.
No. Where's it? I can't see it.
Stuff. It's above the mirror.
It's above the big mirror.
The Harvick cars.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, that might be my last win. I had to buy it. It was half off.
I got that hat for $9 that came in.
Yeah.
Oh, off where'd you get it again?
It's like called the Pit Stop. It's like the ISC merch website.
I can't believe they still call it that.
What?
The Pit Shop. It's been called that for years.
I'll be right back. I'll go grab it. It looks pretty cool, actually. I'm turning into Spencer.
Speaking of Spencer, he must not be watching.
Nope.
Yeah, I doubt he's watching. He had a little rough time recently. Here's this. Oh, it looks pretty cool, doesn't it?
That's badass.
So maybe I'll wear that next year.
$9 and what? $7 in shipping?
Yeah. What was Jesus Christ? $7.
I don't shop for shit unless I get free shipping.
Shipping is crazy these days. But that'll do it. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Tegan and I got a little heated towards the middle about Australia.
Okay, it's all about kissing and making up at the end.
That's not going to happen, unfortunately.
Don't
for you.
lie. Don't lie, Mike. I know
I'm
prom
not
month is
lying.
over, but be yourself.
I'm
Come out.
turning this music up. I'm good. This is over.